Welcome to the Foolcast. Cheers.
It's good. How's everything's been with you?
Okay. Yeah, pretty good, I guess. I've been chilling. It's wandering
Yeah,
around.
yeah. You starting up like video business? Video.
Yeah, that's it's been in the works right now too, as well as yeah, that's taking a bit of my time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I imagine it's probably a lot to navigate even here in Canada. Like it's then doing it in a different country, it's gotta be like so many things you gotta think about starting a business there.
Yeah, it's a little bit more complicated for sure when it comes
Yeah.
to try and hurdle over for sure. It's a little bit more complicated
Mm.
as to what you require. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've been going through it step by step, and I'm just sort of pretty close. Probably in about a month, I'll be set up.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I registered my business here back in like September, but I haven't really like pursued any business yet. Like I've had a couple like small projects come my way just from word of mouth, and I'm editing this project right now for this lady. It's called Totems. It's like a tele series, so it's okay. It's not amazing pay, but it's a good kind of stepping stone, and then like good connection because she's planning on applying for funding for like a second round of episodes.
Hmm.
So and it's a learning experience too, like learning to edit episodes, and like she's got like a time crunch too on trying to get the episodes up in certain set by a certain date and all that stuff. So
Yeah, getting those quick edits and seeing how quickly you can finish a product.
yeah, it's taught me how to kind of get quicker at editing. I mean, learn how to edit quick back when we were doing skits and stuff, but I didn't edit quickly well. Audio would be off, or it wouldn't be. We're just rushing to get it out. But now the quality has to be up for the series thing.
Especially for a series. I mean, this one sound is really going to be your.
Yeah, sound is like the one thing I've really focused on with editing and like really upping my game with sound because I've always like kind of focused on the visuals and being somebody who like is a cinematographer. I always focus more on the imagery, but I think yeah, I really pushed myself to learn more focusing on sound and that sort of thing.
Yeah, sounds for me is also one that I have to navigate in a way that I need to get right. Or like I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to have a way to make sure that that sounds better. Otherwise,
yeah,
it's because it really does. Yeah, you're either gonna know it firsthand. Okay, I'm going to re-record this before I even start, or make sure you got the sound gear on and someone's.
yeah. I heard most of it, like Castaway, that movie Castaway. I heard most of that was redubbed because like the audio. They said like the recording and the locations that were the recording, there's so much noise, like background noise with like the ocean and that sort of thing. And nature, it was hard to get really good sound. So they mostly redubbed a lot of the dialogue. And yeah, like if you have the opportunity, like with that short film I shot last year and beginning of June or whatever last year, there were some scenes where the audio was just terrible, and I would have loved to like redub a lot of it because I did everything to try to fix that audio, and there's like nothing. I put it through like every little program, and I think it was just the acoustics. Like we did have a sound guy, but like the acoustics in that building were not very good, and it was just bouncing off walls.
Oh
So
yeah, trying to deal with echo sounds or try to fix that stuff. It just sounds really numb. Like even in the skit that I did, one of those shots. So I was in the hallway. Some of it was okay, crisp, but then other some of it wasn't. It was echoey, and it was like you couldn't. No matter what, I couldn't fix it. I had to just re-record my own my own voice because luckily it was just my own voice that was messed because otherwise it just did not match really. Even though it was in the same room, it's just the way it was spaced for me versus them and how the sound was bouncing was for
yeah,
me off and then for them fine. So that was kind of can you always need to sort of know your area and if you want to you have the ability to muffle that area somehow, it's also that. But again, you don't always think about what if we throw a carpet over there and muffle the sound? And sometimes I'm like, I should have thought of that. Uh,
yeah, yeah. I know. It's and doing like micro budget filmmaking is kind of like that's the sort of thing we have to run into. It's just like, you know, you have to fix those things or just deal with it. But yeah, it's tough. I've been re-editing like Gangsterphania and
I can see
like I've been really adding a lot of layers to the audio. And then I learned this thing like for basically like adding music so that the music doesn't overpower instead of just doing ducking, you know, like how you can duck. Um there's a thing in Premiere called a de-esser, and basically you take the it's better than ducking because it almost like carves out something in a frequency so that the voice you can hear the voice, but you can still hear the music well. So it's not like it's almost better than ducking. And it takes a little more time, but that's something that learning that is really it's nice because you really notice the difference between that and like just straight ducking with the audio. It's
Yeah, sometimes ducking's okay, but yeah, again, there's other ways to sort of also just yeah, sometimes just ride the duck too, so it just kind of cleanly goes underneath. So you sort of like have the sound recede into itself underneath. I don't know how to best explain that. You know what I mean?
yeah, or just how yeah, it's just like different frequencies of audio too, like where you know where it's not they can exist at the same point but not overpower each other. So it's nice. Um,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I'm
It's a sort of frequency overlay matching kind of thing, or like trying to find that area where that it doesn't sort of one is not overpowering the other.
yeah.
Flows nicely, sort of. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Show me that trick at some point. I'm using DaVinci Resolve now though, so I got it's probably some sort of equivalent to that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something in DaVinci Resolve, and I still kind of learning DaVinci Resolve. I did kind of like start doing this thing where I would export a project. It's not too big. I'll export it from Premiere, like just a XML file, and I can import that into DaVinci and just color grade it. So it's already cut in Premiere because I'm familiar with Premiere, and then I'll import that, and then I can do some color grading and because I think DaVinci has better color grading. It's like top of the line for color grading.
It works
Just learning.
fun too with just the nodes and stuff. It's like you kind of see a more of a map about what you're doing than you do in Premiere. I think Premiere in that it lacks the kind of mapping, like the way you can kind of tool out every single clip with like, crazy adjustments. That's what I like about DaVinci Resolve a lot.
Yeah, and it's interesting learning that. And when I get better at using DaVinci. Yeah, and then like was it last month I worked on a film set actually, just as a production assistant. It was okay. It's long hours though, and then it was more about like I don't know. It was cool to meet a bunch of people like producers and directors and stuff. Like they're so busy though, they don't. I'm sure they won't remember face. Uh, it was funny too because as production assistant, you're like one of your jobs is to like go around and tell people to be quiet, right? And so I was like, there was a guy talking on his phone, like just on a video call. So I assumed he was like, I don't know, talking to family. So I went up to him. I was like, hey, they're just about to shoot. I just whispered that to him. And he said, what? He's like, oh, okay. And then he came to me after the call and he was like, "Oh, what were you saying? Was I being too loud?" And I was like, "Oh no, I was just telling you that that they're starting to film soon." And he was like, "Oh, I was on an important call with Netflix, like a really important call." So I was wondering what you're talking about. I was like, "Oh, sorry." He's like some producer, I guess, or something, director. I had no idea. I don't know who he was, but
Just irritating. Hey, this guy, look at me. Like, well, what?
yeah. So I apologized to him a couple times. Like that day, I was like, "Oh man, sorry, I didn't mean to mess up your call with Netflix." It's like, yeah, trying to make a deal with Netflix and I just interrupted.
They just lost his deal because he you would get some drop that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a learning experience. I don't know. I didn't like production assistant too much. Like I'd rather be in a camera department or something like that because like you're really just doing labor work. Like you're not like you're setting up tents and just doing like basic stuff. It's not like creative in any way. It's like, sure, you're helping the production, but it's like not,
You're just a lackey.
yeah,
You're just the guy that goes. There's always stuff that needs to be done on the set that someone needs to do.
Yeah.
That's what a production assistant does.
But I mean, it was a good experience, but it was just like not something I'm totally into. I don't know. I turned down another day. They asked me another day. Like, I'm not totally into this.
It's just yeah, the mover, yeah, the mover on set really.
Yeah, I'm not that desperate to get on a set that I'm gonna just do like, the odd jobs around the set. Like I'd actually rather do like background acting because then, you know, in the production, like when they're filming and that sort of thing. But with the production assistant, you're not really kind of just standing to the side and
Yeah, it's like the assistant of any job, man. You're doing all the stuff that needs to get done on the sideline.
yeah, yeah. But if I was younger, I think I'd probably be into it. But I'm like,
Yeah, it's
I want to get in the
work,
I want
yeah.
to want to get in the camera department. I applied for a couple jobs with the camera, a couple of productions here in Victoria. So yeah. I want to do like I want to apply for funding for a feature film. The telefilm was coming up. The only thing is like I don't have a script right now, and I'm so slow at writing. So that's my big issue. Like I was, I don't know, maybe I could find somebody who could write a script for me.
What kind does it have a genre?
Um, I don't think it does, but I was talking to a few people though about it, and they said you have a better chance if your story is like centered with like maybe indigenous characters or something like that, because that's sort of thing they look for. They look for minorities, women, indigenous, that sort of thing. They like to fund those type of projects. So I hadn't started writing a script, but like I also have a million other things going on. So it's like finding the time and then also the fact that I'm a slow writer. That's not really my strong suit with filmmaking. I don't write a lot. So yeah.
I can generally come up with stuff quick, but the issue is, yeah, I have so much other stuff to do. I'm thinking like, do I have something already written
Yeah.
somewhere? Probably. A bunch of stuff always on the like half written or partially written.
Yeah, I know. I have a ton of scripts in my like Google Drive that are like just partially written, not finished. Yeah, it's just I have a bunch of short films and skits that we didn't film. But yeah, not none of that stuff would work as a short film. I might be able to find out a local writer or maybe even hire a writer. That's the thing with like if I don't.
Is it a short film that they need, or is it a feature?
The last year it was a short film. And actually, we want to turn it into more of a feature by combining the three films and maybe adding on to the story a little bit. But that's a possibility too, is like maybe applying for funding for that and making that into a feature film. But yeah, it's just because that does have an indigenous story as well. Have you been filming anything out there? Or?
Yeah, just for like practice with my buddy, do some skits and stuff.
This is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You take the blue beer, 0%. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red beer, 5%. You stay in Wonderland and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I am offering is the truth, nothing more.
Realistically, right now, I've just been sort of setting up. Well, actually, I've done some work for some friends as well, doing some video stuff. It's just usually quick turnaround stuff, but it's not bad. It's just get to play with gear and things like that. So, but realistically, I've been practicing a lot with my buddy making sort of skits. He's got like a skeleton, like he's got this toy skeleton he bought. Well, not toy skeleton, but those like skeletons you see in the doctor's office, right?
Yeah.
He's got those, and we've just been screwing around with that.
Did you drink my beer?
That thing, making random skits and like giving him, showing him how to shoot properly and sort of get his ideas because he wants to make little TikTok videos. For me, it's just a cool skeleton to shoot, So, and try
Yeah.
to get some stories around it for fun. And it's always fun to sort of work on, just camera angles and stuff like that, and little dummies and lighting and whatnot. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's more fun and learning for me, and if some funny stuff comes out of it, then why not?
That's cool.
For me, realistically, sort of playing around with lighting is sort of like something that I like to need to do more of because it's just trying having more opportunities to sort of light scenes in different ways and making sure that the intent of why I'm lighting it is like, am I just trying to grab the ambience and give a little bit of contrast, or am I trying to like legitimately like change the atmosphere with just light, or
Yeah.
just trying to get the sharpest image imaginable and have that cinematic feeling, in anything you shoot, sort of thing. But that's yeah, I mean, and you can't do that by not shooting stuff. So I have
Yeah, I know.
here and there.
Yeah, I haven't filmed a lot lately either. I wanted to. Well, I have this kind of minor project that I shot last week, which was like just like I guess they're trying to fundraise for this course, which is through the Friendship Center here in Victoria. So it hopefully will kind of raise awareness for the course. Yeah, that was kind of it's just sort of a small project. I haven't edited it yet. One thing is like it's always like I always feel like I'm like missing some gear. It's like never ending because I'm like we went to film that and I was like everybody's standing and we're doing the interview standing. But like I have a wired mic and I was like I don't have a good place to put my wired lav mic and all that stuff and connect it. And so I was like, well, like this would be a perfect opportunity if I had like a wireless mic setup. But then it was kind of quick, like run and gun sort of thing. And then I was like, okay, forget it. I'm just gonna film it with my camera, with my Rode mic, and hope that the audio is good enough. I'm hoping it's good, but we'll see. I haven't even taken it to imported it, or run it on my computer, but I haven't like edited. Yeah, so we'll see.
Wireless stuff is all right. I mean, I have that little wireless, what is it, DJI Mini, whatever wireless system. It's super
Yeah,
fun. The audio is good for what it is. Without comparison, it sounds decent coming out of wherever you sort of plug it into. So far for me, anyway, I plugged it directly into the Lumix here
yeah,
directly, and I've also plugged it directly into my phone and just stuffed it in here close to here, like you can't see it, and the audio is better than the audio that would come off a shotgun mic if it's just on your camera. Problem with it on your camera is it's kind of just too far. So you still pick up the kind of weird crackles and stuff like that, and it's not always as crisp as you'd like it to be. Even the cheap small audio isn't as crisp as I would kind of want it to sound, but it still sounds better than if you have too much distance between the boom mic or something like that. I still kind of want better, like lav set. But those are expensive. Like if you want like a really decent lav set, like for a decent lav mic, I mean, a couple hundred just for the lav mics, or 1,000 depending, right, on the budget, and then
yeah,
decently pairing recorder that mic that paired well with the mics. So it's also
yeah.
that like you have to know that mic, that set kind of matched together on like how the actual sound ends up at the final product.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's always like a chase for like new gear. I mean, I may not even use the wireless setup very often, but it's like something that where there's probably going to be the odd situation where I need a wireless setup. Yeah, it's just because usually sit down interviews, like it's fine. Like what I have right now, so I have a lav mic. I connect a lav mic and then I'll put my Zoom recorder maybe down on the table or something like that. And that's fine for most interviews. But like if there's certain situations sometimes where it's like, yeah, it would be come in handy for that sort of thing. But yeah, it's
I think it's nice to have for sure. I mean, the wireless sets there are fairly affordable wireless sets probably, but they're still I'd still probably think that at least like around 500 or more, something that would work.
yeah,
I think you could go with the DJI route and get the more expensive one. You know what I mean? One of the newer ones. They're still pretty good. I still think the sound's quite crisp out of them, and especially just for interview stuff, I think they're probably just fine. On
yeah,
most cases, and just backing it up with a boom mic just in case.
yeah, yeah. It's have you seen anybody in Germany using that what's it called DJI Ronin 40 camera setup? Like it's like
Looks never seen somebody actually carry one of those around. No, I haven't seen that.
No, so
I know in movies, a couple movies have been shot with it.
yeah,
I know that it has kind of its like own ecosystem type thing, but I've never really, I personally wouldn't. When I first saw it come out, I was like, "That's cool," But I'm like, I wouldn't. I don't think I would have. I, for one, I don't want to drop the money to invest in an ecosystem like that.
yeah,
But it does look cool, right? Like it's a
mhm,
sort of all in one, cinematic device. And will they have lenses and all kinds of even have adapters for lenses that you can put on it? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of nice. Like, yeah, the like running gun sort of.
yeah,
For yeah,
like, it is a battery thing, and it is already like it's always a gimbal, and like it's always
yeah,
like so that's the like. Wait a minute,
yeah.
for me it seems a bit weird.
It worked well. What does that show? Lessons on Netflix. That one was shot, I think, on that the Run at 40. That one was like, all the episodes were shot in one take. So that worked well for that sort of, I think, single take shoot.
Yeah,
Um,
the oneer,
but yeah,
uh,
yeah,
for the oneer shots. That's what it's for. It's just
yeah,
oneer shots.
yeah, for sure.
Just rant and as many times, but it's an interesting piece of technology for you.
Yeah, it's I'm surprised. Like, well, maybe other companies will come up with something similar to that now. That's seems to be like catching on with some people. And
Yeah, the way it's sort of a whole kind of cinema device in itself, right? It's a gimbal in itself. It packs onto other things as well. I think and probably just stick that whole thing onto a car. You know what I mean? It's just you put the whole thing and it just goes to where it needs to be
yeah,
as it's sort of already partially rigged up as it is.
I'm actually using the Black Magic, but I don't have like I just have the basic. What are they called? Canon batteries for it. I don't have like one of those big giant battery things. Or,
Yeah,
oh yeah, is your mic off?
can you hear me? Is the mic still working? Can't hear me. Do you hear me? I knocked something down. Let me see. I check here.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, maybe I was just too far from the microphone or something.
maybe.
I mean, these batteries,
Yeah, what are those? Yeah,
big battery
well,
like that.
yeah. I wanted to get one of those actually.
You can just put another different one on
Yeah,
when you're smart. Like, but I'm not smart to put on backwards. I just didn't put another battery on.
yeah, that's nice.
I think use this old dusty. I use this one more just because it's
Oh
smaller,
yeah,
easier to track around. I mean, it has good quality on it, but it's for I don't want to use this handheld. It's heavy.
yeah. I used mine handheld a couple times, and
Mhm.
then shots. Even with I used that 5-axis thing to stabilize it and DaVinci, and it wasn't great. I think with the DaVinci 5-axis to stabilize it, I think you'd have to actually have it in a higher shutter rate so that you don't get that motion blur. So that's one thing I noticed with that stabilization. You get a lot of that motion blur, which yeah,
Yeah, in some senses, you're probably just better off using the built-in like DaVinci stabilization in a sense, and trying to use that 5-axis stuff. I tried it once too, and it didn't really. Yeah, it didn't do anything better. Like I feel like it's sort of yeah. I guess if it was a huge better frame, like yeah, more a higher shutter speed, then you probably have more information for it to lock onto. But you're still gonna crop. Like you can't be super shapy because at some point it's still gonna start cropping and being all wonky and wobbly if the movements don't sort of catch. But I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I saw what was it? There was I think it was an ad actually for some sort of camera course on Instagram, and it was the guy who shot Joker, and he was like, I shot Joker mostly handheld. I was like, oh well, must be nice to not have rolling shutter.
Yeah.
Like it's all great and fine and dandy to shoot handheld, but if you have rolling shutter, it actually kind of sucks about shooting handheld. It's you pay for that, like trying to edit and fix that. So
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Like if you can. Most cameras that consumers could buy have rolling shutter to a point, so it doesn't.
yeah,
If you're going to buy like an RE or something, then go for it. But I don't have that for money.
yeah. I think like the older Black Magic had global shutter. one of the older Blackmagic Studio global shutter. But yeah, I wonder why they didn't bring that over. Maybe it's too expensive to like implement in cameras or something. I'm not sure, but
It seems like something. I mean, I get it. Like if the technology was there, it must have been either too expensive. Otherwise, you think it would roll over as a big selling point, right?
yeah,
And considering that really the big deal cinema cameras are the ones that are the only ones that sort of don't deal with that issue, right? They're the ones that seem to have the global shutters, and then you have what was it? Was it Sony or Nikon that came up with the newer camera that didn't have had a global shutter?
yeah.
I can't remember what
Yeah,
it was.
I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with like recent gear too much, so yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
it's you hear something big happen like briefly, and you may or may not look at the YouTube videos of everybody trying to get views by all saying the exact same thing at the same time. The camera came out. It's time to review. 1,000 million people that do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I know. It's like if you follow a lot of the same creators on YouTube, it's like when a new camera comes out, they're all like talking about this basically the same thing.
But they're all like just waiting for their stocking to be filled when those new things show up and they got something to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, those big creators, they basically like they lots of must be nice. Yeah, I heard I saw that you had that it's called the probe lens or whatever. What are they called?
Yeah. Yeah,
You got that? Have you played around with it much or
yeah, I shot used some things with it that normally you couldn't really shoot. It also, I mean, it got used and still, it was still like $1,000, like stupidly expensive. The one thing it can do is get into places no other camera or lens can get into. It has some lights in front of it. You can plug it in, and I plugged it in. I realized that one of the LEDs appears to be burned out. And I wrote a thing back to MPB, and they never got back to me. By the way, out. Like, whatever. I want to keep it because it's whatever, it still works and the lighting's still fine from the front. It's just you can notice it. Just
yeah.
stare. Hey, look at that. It's it starts off at a very high aperture, so you have to have a lot of light with that thing. For some of the projects I have in mind for it, that's why I kind of bought it. I wanted, as I still want to do this cartoon that I wrote way back when, and want to build sets in front, and I want to be able to run through those sets with and have the sort of the means to do that and not have to like smash things with my lenses. So if I want to get to somewhere small, then I can with that particular lens.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like it's cool for like product shots and stuff like that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing people use it for that. That's yeah, that'd be cool.
It does require a lot of light because of again, it's the aperture restraints. It starts off high, but you definitely need to flood the area or what you're shooting with a decent amount of light to get the right exposure. But at the end of the day, it gets into places nothing else can get into, which
Yeah.
makes it. And the fact that it's 24, it's still quite wide.
Yeah.
Like sort of move through the scene, like a microscopic scene. Because I am trying to do this cartoon that's coming up, and I want to sort of have some sets built up in front and whatnot. So it's a mixture of practical and virtual and this thing I wrote, and also some standard animation. But but that's exactly why I got it. I was thinking in my head, how would you get like big, wide monster shots, in like such a small environment? I mean, just you'd have to have quite a wide angle, but you'd also have something that's sort of versatile that would get into the scene itself and sort of interact.
Yeah, that's cool. I scored a deal on Facebook Marketplace. Well, I needed a wider lens, and I had a Tokina like it's a 12 to 24, which is okay, but it was f4, and also there was an issue with the lens. Like, there's something wrong with it. So if you go all the way to f4, it starts clicking. It's like making a clicking noise. So there's something wrong with it mechanically. I was looking on like Marketplace and that sort of thing for a new wide lens, and one came up for somebody was asking like 200 for Tokina 11 to 16 2.8, and that's like I had that lens for I know it's one of my favorite lenses, and eventually he came down to like 140. I was like, oh, I gotta grab that. That's a pretty good deal for a good it's a good lens. It's what I have on right now. And so yeah, it's I kind of lucked out on that one. But most people think average it goes for like 300.
It's not a bad deal for sure, man. Like what was it? How do you said 140?
Yeah, 140.
Yeah, not bad
No issues with it.
for decent lens.
Yeah, yeah, good wide lens. Use it for like time lapses and that sort of thing too for astrophotography. It's 2.8. It's pretty good.
This lens here is 1.4.
Yep.
It's my favorite lens, really, because it has that crazy. If you shoot a subject close up, like real close up, you get crazy, insane wide angle bokeh. That's
Yeah.
one reason. The other reason is super sharp. So if you do if you have higher aperture, then you're also going to get a lot of things in depth of field. So it's really good for landscapes as well, and it's really sharp, and the colors are kind of very normal. It's the best way to say it. Sigma, I don't know. It feels like the colors are just from Sigma, just sort of normal. But
Yeah.
you take them into post, and you can sort of bump them up and make them look cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's sharp. It's the most important thing of a lens.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. That's one thing I noticed that Sigma 12 to 24 it wasn't sharp. This 2.8 11 to 16 is a little bit better. It's a little bit sharper than that one. That's yeah, one of the reasons I got that. But I kind of want to get my next lens. I think I want the what is it called? The 18 to 35 1.8 art lens. Yeah.
It's APS-C's the one, right?
Yeah. Which I think it would be good match with my Blackmagic 4K.
Apparently, it's a huge mashable one for that. As a lot of people use it on that. That's what
that and like match with the Metabones speed booster. It's I think that would be good. So I'm kind of looking for a used one, on the look for one, but can't afford it right now. Just I'm waiting. Eventually I'm gonna get one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my business set up. I'm trying not to think of things. The things that I tend to flock towards purchasing at the moment have been lighting, small things that sort of, like I notice I'm missing somehow.
Yeah.
And what I need to do to properly have a workflow. I'm pretty good for what I have at the moment for lights and sound and things like that. At the moment, what I find myself probably going to need to spend money on is advice, taxes, lawyer.
Yeah.
Like just look over these forms type thing and sort of make sure that everything is legit on paper, that I have a good contract that I can use if they don't have a standard, that I have the proper
Yeah.
release forms ready to go, and then I said,
Yeah.
I can figure out how to have this all on my phone. So that's my head. That's what I kind of think. Okay, just sign here on my phone, please.
It's something that I'm not used to because for years it's just filming for run and gun sort of thing. It's not something I thought about getting release firms, but it's important when you're filming. Yeah, it's when somebody is sue you or something like that.
Not exactly in the sense, but it's also if I'm working for project to project, that means that I have to deal with whatever you know legality that they're kind of running with, which means there's probably some kind of liability somewhere. So I have to pay for liability insurance and also like business insurance, like
Yeah,
so some kind of mixture insurance that also has like legality, and also I still have to research what insurances I'm going to be using to get starting a business. Has all of these things in the back of your head. You're like, oh, you know,
yeah,
don't someone could just be disgruntled and sue you. You know what I mean?
yeah, sure, yeah,
Like, you don't know. And I don't want to have to pay for a lawyer. I could just have insurance for that.
yeah. Is there any sort of like grants that you could get for small businesses like starting up there? Or?
Um, there's sort of, yeah, I'm kind of doing that right now. I'm in the process of sort of just making it easier in myself to get this ball moving at the moment. But at the same time, I'm more or less on my feet. So I have what I have. I have the gear and stuff that I have, and I have small investments that I have in order to get it going. What I have to do right now is more or less package the thing as yeah, it's on. It's ready to go kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm giving myself about a month here before it's like all on paper properly.
yeah, yeah. That's one thing. Like, I think it's difficult for me is like the business side of things. Like, I want to be creative, but then also like, um, you have to be really like proactive and like reach out to people and try to find business. So that's like for me, that's my struggle right now is just trying to find the business, I guess. Not wait for it to come to me.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's also something I'm well aware of in my head. And it's one of those things that yeah, it can kind of put a damper on and give you more of that kind of unease about it. I hate saying so much. I have to like take a course and like how to like remove the ums. You know, I don't,
It's a habit.
it's a habit. I could just say something else. But going out, I think that's part of the hump for me though. Is here it's sort of take the risk or you don't.
Yeah.
Especially in Germany. Like I mean, I like socializing anyway, so it's at the end of the day, it's what kind of different kind of marketing tools am I going to use? And obviously, one of them is going to be very social and go to social events and talk to people
Yeah.
whenever I have a chance. It's, hopefully because no matter what, you're working, right? Like, so whether I work for myself or I work for somebody else, it's just a matter of making sure that I'm being consistent and active. And if I am consistent and active and I fail, well, I'm fine. I'll figure out something else, but I still need to be consistent and active and engaging and educating myself as well and learning about the people I want to work for and figuring out how to best suit who I, do talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few projects where the lady that I'm working with right now for her show, like doing their editing for totems, is she's talking about doing applying for some grants for like they have like a couple of grants for like, podcasts and that sort of thing. So she wants to do that and apply for. Oh, I might as well apply for as many as you can. There's no harm in trying to apply for this if there's a
No,
money
just
available.
yeah, exactly. If they're there's there's a pot. So if you can get in that pot, then take it.
Yeah,
That's what it's there for.
for sure. Yeah, lots of opportunities for that sort of thing.
I'm trying to think about, I have to just get this dealt with, and then I think that once I'm already everything's sort of compiled into the actual business side of things, and I have this sort of business that's done. It's like you have a business, okay. Then mm, I'll be less anxious about that it's not completed, sort of thing. I just want that thing finished. I just want it like done and ready, and I don't want to think about it as a tomorrow thing. It's like it's okay. Just go find some jobs now.
Yeah,
I have some leads and whatnot, and that's okay. I mean, I have some through contacts and things, so those are things that will help me in the beginning months when I need to spend a bit more time marketing and engaging with other businesses and seeing where I can fit in and how I serve them well because that's the idea. Like you're there to try and find out about them so that you can best serve them. So that's this the initial kind of sales pitch I have is I do it through design process.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't wanna just go in there empty-headed and think, "Oh, yeah, let's just film some stuff." I'm like, "No, I kinda wanna know about you guys. I kinda wanna understand your customers, how your customers are already infatuated. Like, what is it that you serve? What is it that you give them? And let's find out, what they like to see," because that's, you know, kind of the genuine sales pitch of how do you latch on to people that already are being served and then find more people like that for them, and how do you
yeah,
engage those people? And that's through investigating the people you're working for.
yeah, sure. Are you gonna mostly target like small businesses like in the area or?
That will be part of my plan, but yeah, I have some contacts already with some small businesses and so that's sort of where I'm gonna mostly tune into, but small, medium, ones that have some kind of budget that could be utilized that they need or have marketing budget for and or some sort of materials that they just need or require that they don't have or they just don't have somebody that knows what I know and I don't
Yeah,
mind taking some of your money to help you with those things. It's more or less what can I do for a company that doesn't know anything about creating content.
yeah,
And even if they do, then let's see how can I help differently? Because
yeah,
I'm willing to do my research and try and figure out how I can best serve the ultimate question. How do you help? What do you help? Like, what is it that people want? Like at the end of the day, you're trying to figure out how what is it about them that's special? You know, what's about me that's special that helps them, right? So what is it they sell? What is their service? People are
Yeah.
looking online for something. Everyone's always looking for something and they're looking for a solution to something. And you always want to be the first person that pops up when somebody's searching.
Yeah.
How do you make
Yeah. It's
content?
just,
There's-
it,
you know, it's questionable. It doesn't mean I have a foolproof plan. It just means that the more you know, the probably better, the more accurate you can be at targeting those people. And maybe you can have fun with playing with stories that some people are willing to give some time to instead of just the standard wet pans and whatever AI slop is out there.
yeah, there's so much AI slop nowadays. I think like with that happening so much as well, like people will maybe like start to like look out for content like real content. Like people are just gonna be like starved for it because we'll be like being bombarded with AI slop.
Well, because there is a huge problem with copyright and private like original content and things like that. But when it comes down to it, there's so much of it that's sort of just diluted, stolen property.
Yeah,
Right? It's kind of just amalgamated stolen property and yeah, it's still iffy, I think, on that whole legality, really. And
yeah,
at some point, it's really like you can't just do that. Like, I mean, people are, but when is it going to be completely moderated, to the point where it's like that is AI, you can't make money from it. And they have done that in some platforms, depending on what the actual content is. I mean, they can do it better at some point and be very clear but it gets to a point where maybe that's, somebody's going to make something that's incredible, really incredible. And then they're going to find out that like so much of other people's content's in there without without the permission. And
yeah,
that's somehow there's some sort of legal way of dealing with that in which the money trickles down into those pockets somehow. I don't know or not. It's such a weird situation. And you still have to use AI to where it can help you. But when it comes to how much content I see created without any kind of talent and really good storytellers can make AI do some cool things.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, it's bad material. It's like, no, there's people come up with some pretty funny things or some interesting stories. And again, it comes down to the actual people prompting it in really yeah, I guess well conceived ways that they end up with this crazy content that we're all enjoying. Some of
yeah,
it, anyway. Some of it's just jokes and garbage and not funny or just eye-catching randomness.
yeah.
And I don't know, like it's
But
really hard. But
that's for me
you know
like
it's AI though. That's the thing, right? You know for a fact, like most maybe old people and some young kids maybe don't know it's AI right away, but at some point you're just gonna really realize what the difference is. It's
yeah,
just very easy to tell comparatively. And then that I don't know if that gives companies confidence when they know that everybody knows it's fake. So are you
yeah.
making AI stuff? Are they happy with that? I don't know. Depends on the company, I suppose.
Yeah,
I don't
and I kind of use it sparingly in my projects. Like I use it as a tool, like I'd use Photoshop or something like that. I don't use it. Um, I don't know. I don't overly use it. I try not to, anyways. So yeah,
yeah.
it's like for music also. Like I've been creating a lot of music, even just instrumental music for projects, and it's really good for that. But then I'm wondering like maybe someday they're gonna pull the rug on that because like they'll find out this company that you're creating AI music with created it using copywritten music, and now they're just gonna shut it down. That's what I'm kind of waiting for. It's like I know for sure because the way like how good it is at some points is like definitely they used copywritten music at some point to train this AI. But
Where are the music banks from, right? And so, like, who agreed to allow to use their music for infiniteness for them to have the complete copyright to sell to you? You know what I mean? So it's like, well, let's sell you all they give you a license, right, with this copyrighted music if you pay their subscription, right? So you have the subscription model where you get these credits so you can make these music things show up out of nowhere, voiceovers and all this insanity, and they sound like legit songs. Yeah, I've tried it too, and I'm like, really? You made a song out of those 3 lines I gave you, right? All these cool beats, and I wonder. I mean, because it's not anybody's like specifically, and it's such such common kind of riffs and tones, like the sounds you hear are so common, and it's not like you stole it from anyone really. Like I don't know. I don't understand. Yeah, you're right about I don't know. At some point they're gonna come at you. Like, who did they take that from? And did they really take those loops from somewhere? Like, where was that sound bank? Whose sound bank was it?
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna find this like riff one day and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, that belongs to this person. You owe them $1 million. Like, great. That's what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Really, it's a
Awesome.
wild west. It's a wild, bloody west, man. Like the AI is a wild west. Nobody knows exactly what's going to become of it, or whether we become eaten by it.
Yeah.
It's funny to use it. I mean, and I do use it for certain things that help connect dots quicker. But I don't use it to use it as a complete creative tool like some people do, like making a whole videos and stuff like that. I'm like, maybe for like filler or like a segue or like a quick shot or something, yeah, that you'd normally get B-roll for or something, then sure. And then
Yeah.
that's totally fine. I think why not? I guess it's the same. And I mean, or also just for fun, like manipulating a picture and making it funny. Again, that's more of a personal fucking project thing that you can just for fun. But to do it for a client, like, hey, look at this, I can type in 3 lines and made you a thing.
Yeah.
Can I have 10 grand now? It doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's nothing personal about it. There was no real kind of information gathering session. There was no really understanding about what they do and why they do it and who they do it for. There's no, you could get all the information and type it into a bunch of different AI things and then get a bunch of outcomes, right? And
Yeah.
piece it together. Sure, but realistically, like you're trying to make something original for them to get attention from the people that they're solving something for, and they want them to know that they solved that for them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a crazy time because like also I saw this teacher talking about AI and how many it must suck to be a teacher nowadays. Like and how he like gave, his students a quiz and they all came back with almost a similar story because it was like they just basically put it into your chat. It was like he started reading out the kids and it was like very similar. They're all like woke up at 6 a.m., woke up at 6 a.m. And I was like, obviously they and then he went and put that same prompt through, chat GPT and got a similar output. And it was like, yeah, obviously they used chat GPT to do this test. But
Jeez.
yeah, it must be
Well,
it's a crazy time to be a teacher. I would hate to be a teacher right now.
yeah,
So,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people are getting lazier and lazier. I heard some sort of report. I didn't really read into it, and it could be just gibberish. But Gen X, or was it, yeah, Gen Z, are just stupider.
yeah. Yeah, because like if you don't have to use your brain,
Yeah,
it's just like then you just get AI to do it. You're not exercising that, developing their brain to like solve those problems. You just like pass it off to something else.
you never have to sort of research things in a way that's irritating anymore, and so you don't
Yeah.
and the irritation is sort of what it's like lifting a weight. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
strong brain. Now you have the simplicity of simply typing anything into a computer and finding out that information, whether it's sort of legit or not. Like, you have the quickness and the speed to just find any piece of information you want. You don't even need to know what the answer means. You simply have it, and that's the problem, right? So, how many people actually cite where their battery's gone?
Again. Yeah.
How do you
Well,
cite where this stuff's coming from? Like most people probably don't even do that. Like, is that even a legit source? Shouldn't I read what I'm actually like that information that I got?
switch the camera again.
Surprised mine hasn't died yet. I still got 2 bars.
Okay. Yeah.
Being idiots.
Oh yeah. You remember when we were kids, like having to go, like if you had a project you had to collaborate with other kids you had to go through the library, get one of those cards.
Yeah.
You had to find where the,
System that nobody knows the Dewey Decimal System. You find the matching, look through the alphabetical, and then it tells you what number and where it is and, where to find it and what color and go match it and find the book.
yeah.
I don't even remember it anymore. That's
Yeah.
terrible. It's been since I've been to a library.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
So we used though. That's how you did any like report. You had to go there and figure out, and then you have to cite that a book that you used, and so all the information is tightly explained where it came from, and then you give it like a paraphrase of like paraphrase it yourself about what this is, and like answered the questions, and they explained everything, but through research from the library and not from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I don't.
You had to put some work into it. Yeah.
It make it sound like it was better because it wasn't. You had to actually go to the library. It's time wasted. The problem is that there's little refining or little guesswork anymore. You don't sort of you look for like 5 books or more, right? Back in the day, like you'd look through lots of different. But here you go to ChatGPT, you ask for it, and very few people are like, "Can you, tell me what books or where that stuff cited? Like where that information come from?" How many people follow that up? Because I always do. And anytime
Yeah.
I look up something, I try to figure out where that information came from and read it off the actual sites and places that it came from, to see if that's legit or not. Like if
Yeah.
you're if you're trying to find, yeah, it's taken, and since it does hallucinate, it takes all this information, jarbles it together, and makes it kind of maybe makes partially false forms or wrong formatting.
Yeah. It's
So it's still not, it's not accurate to 100% in what it gives you. It does give you the compressed sort of mix of it, and as long as you ask it to get the information where it's held, then you can go get it from some actual real people versus the ChatGPT version.
yeah. Yeah, it's it's not perfect still. Hopefully people don't rely on it 100% looking. Yeah, kids do. Yeah.
It's easy. It's like, because they don't know any better anymore. Like, I don't know if it's taught properly or what. Or maybe
Yeah.
the teachers are using it too. It's just even worse. It's just like, teachers using it, kids are using it.
Do
Everyone,
they allow phones in schools in Germany, or you're not allowed to phone?
it depends on what grade. My daughter has a phone, but they're not allowed to have it on class.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think it depends here, which depends on the school here. I think some schools have a rule that you have to like leave your phone like a spot. You have to put your phone or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't stop them from using it at home. So you have homework or something like that.
To put it in like a tinfoil bag so the Wi-Fi signals don't kill the teachers.
Yeah.
So put it in there's like a special radioactive proof bin on your way in to limit
Yeah.
radio frequencies. Clearly, Wi-Fi is the one.
I don't prepare anything else. So I wasn't thinking anything.
Anything. I just want to see if the
Yeah.
camera worked. Really, man. It's just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like only the good things we say should be cut. Really, really quickly cut. So we look super smart, way smarter than we actually are. I'm not Gen Z. I'm already smarter.
Yeah, I like most of the editing programs. I think DaVinci probably has this too for cutting out the pauses and the ums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you can go through the text and it'll just delete all of those and it'll just cut those out. It's not perfect, but it works pretty well. Like instead of having to go through and look for every in the video.
That's true, though. It's nice that when they do that automatic thing, that's one thing AI does good.
Yeah.
It finds ums.
Yeah. It finds like that's a little task that would take probably a good amount of time if it's a long video, and it's just a tedious task that it's eliminated for us having to do. So it's nice.
There's lots of things like that back in the day. Like even whoever invented came up with hey, there should be like a right click to match audio with like external audio. You know what time that says? Just go right click, match audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Done.
Yeah. What time is it there in Germany?
It's 8 p.m.
Oh, 8 p.m. Oh, it's not too late. I thought it was later.
Spring forward. I don't know. It's an 8-hour difference, isn't it? There's only like a brief switch over between the daylight.
Yeah.
So like the spring time change is I think slightly different here than it is there. So there's going to be like a moment or a gap where it's like 7 hours instead of 8.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because there's some countries like Thailand doesn't do the